Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for June 14th, 2026. We've got a full random kingdom with campaign features today. We got supplies has with spoils, and then we start with a sorceress in place of a copper. That's I think that's very unusual. The I cannot recall. Yeah, I cannot recall another time when we would have started with um, copper being replaced by um, another card, but not. Well, putting aside like heirlooms, but for campaign feature stuff where copper gets replaced, but the estates or shelters don't get replaced, with the one exception being like when you have the boards where like all your coppers are replaced with spoils. But like in this case, like having like like an action card replace a copper rather than a shelter or a state, like that's, yeah, I can't remember that coming up before where you have less than 7 money like that way. That's interesting. Anyway, so we've got Crucible, Counterfeit, and Salvager for trashing. We've got Draw from Caravan, Carnival, Root Cellar, potentially Stampede. We've got no plus actions, so that's a pretty big limitation. And then for gains, Counterfeit has plus buy, Salvager has plus buy, though it's not net gains. Groom can gain stuff, and probably will be the terminal of choice if for no other reason than like, just playing one terminal draw card doesn't have a ton of appeal, and so like what else are you going to do with your terminal space? We also just don't have the ability to open with a 4, which is pretty unfortunate, I would say. 4-2 looks like a much more appealing split here than 3-3. Well, actually, we don't really have a 3-3 split anyway, because we could end up with 3 coins each of the first 2 turns, but Sorceress is going to trigger a shuffle, so that's even more reason that we would prefer to have 4, or I suppose better yet 5 turn 1. Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, but so I guess I guess one other thing I kind of glossed over, like the Root Cellar like is legitimately or potentially legitimately draw here, because you might be able to make enough money like to for that to pay for itself. I guess the one issue with that is you probably need to be buying gold at some point to make that the case, like as well as King's Cash, but like you're gonna want to make I think I did mention Root Cellar as a draw card, but I think I didn't. Yeah, I think I just kind of glossed over like the significance of that, or like what that implies. But anyway, yeah, as far as the opening is concerned, definitely would prefer to have at least 4, but here we are. We probably just take a supplies. The supplies coming out of the spoils is like probably good, but it does make it more likely that our sorceress doesn't give out a curse. But I think it's still worth it and better than taking a silver. Yeah, and then ultimately here, I guess the deck we're gonna try to build, like is We're going to want some caravans. We're probably going to want some root cellars. We're going to want some plus buy. And that's going to be... Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too complex. Anyway, so we've still got more copper than anything else, of course. Main copper. We do give out a curse. That's good. Okay, so next turn, down there we have 3 coppers, 2 shelters. No, we have 2 coppers, 2 shelters, supplies, and spoils. So if we if we don't bottom deck the spoils, then we'll be able to buy, you know, something expensive. If we do bottom deck it, it's just going to be like supplies or root cellar again, or silver, I guess. I'm wondering, if it's essential that we get a trasher right now, or if we should take a groom. Groom gaining Crucible is not great, and we probably don't want to play with Salvager. If we see the spoils, though, we will be able to get a counterfeit. I mean, obviously, we're going to want to get a Crucible to trash shelters. Oh, we do have the Necropolis, so we do have a little bit of plus action. So I guess we could consider playing with Salvager instead. And the only real reason to do that would be because Groom can gain it. And then it does have the downside if we don't actually want it in our deck. Like we counterfeit a Crucible, we can't counterfeit a Salvager, you know, to get it back out of the deck. But and maybe playing with 2 Grooms would be better anyway. Yeah, I think I'll start with the Crucible. Definitely not clear. If we're extremely lucky... Well, I guess the other thing we could do here is buy Stampede. The problem with buying Stampede right now is we don't have any source of gains in our deck. We don't... Neither Groom nor plus buy. We really want to have one of those things. But yeah, so I think we go with counterfeit here. Whoa! Was that the last card in the deck, or was that just an extremely lucky find? Oh, and the other thing, I think I cut myself off, but if we're extremely lucky, what happens is we see at some point we see counterfeit with Crucible, Hovel, and Overgrown Estate, and we counterfeit the Crucible, we trash those things, and then we get it back out of the deck. This could be an opportunity to Stampede and try to do that. I mean, it's not like our next turn is going to be anything amazing otherwise. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, in theory, we should know what that card is. Last turn, We saw... four copper. This is our other 2 copper. We saw the necropolis. We did not see our supplies, so it should be as supplies. Well, I wasn't thinking about the curse trashing. That's a reason to not just immediately counterfeit the crucible, I suppose. All right. We have a 1 in 3 chance to draw the counterfeit here, which would be good. The other 2 cards down there, there's a horse. And we've already trashed one of our copper, so that's not... What is the other card? Oh, it's a curse. So 2/3 chance to draw a card that we either want to see or don't want on top. So I think that's reason enough to do that. Okay, cool. Now... probably time to get that groom. I guess the other thing we could consider is trying to play with a carnival with the necropolis. It seems a little rough, though. Second counterfeit. It's not bad. We've only got 4 copper left, though. We could also just get 2 grooms, I guess. Yeah, why not? Oh man, we're pretty lucky not to have gotten a curse there, I think. No! I guess we could groom for a state, trash the hovel, and then it's a little bit better of a thing to crucible. Certainly not. I wanted to see, though. Alright. Time for Caravan, I think. And a couple more supplies, I guess? Oh, in theory, we should know what that card is. It's not a curse. It's not the counterfeit of the Crucible or the Grooms. Last turn... We saw 2 coppers, with these the remaining 2 coppers. What is that last card, then? We saw both Grooms. Is it another supplies? I played... No... Only had the 1 supplies before last turn. What the heck is this last card? I'm so confused. Can it still be the horse that we had from Bot's Bargain? No, we played... 2 horses last turn. What the heck? This makes no sense. We trashed our overgrown estate. We trashed our hovel. I'm baffled. Isn't it's not a spoils because we had already spent the spoils that we got from the first supplies. This is so confusing. We've given the bot 2 curses. There's 1 curse in the trash, there's 1 curse in our discard. It's not a curse. Plus, I mean, there's a curse in here, and then there's an estate, and we have 0 VP. What the heck? What? I am so very confused. Wait, no, we did only see 1 copper last turn. I just misread the log. Okay, it is a copper. Okay. Should we stampede again? One reason to do it is because we have the 2 grooms coming up and we just drew the necropolis. Yeah, sure. Plus we have the estate and the crucible that we want to line up. Although maybe we actually can't line all that up anyway. Well, we can line some of it up. Aha! That's 3 coppers and something. Counterfeit. Okay. I think we just take 2 caravans. Oh, we don't have any plus buy. Ooh. I think I'm gonna just play 1 spoils and get a king's cash. Save the other one. It's not obvious that saving the other one is good, but I think it probably is. Oh, I forgot the estate. Whoops. Okay, well, it was still correct to guess copper. Okay, so again, that should be a copper guess. We've got a groom. And it should be groom and 2 copper down there. No, wait, no, that's not right. We have another. I must keep miscounting my copper, but like, we didn't trash 1 last turn, right? But I must have. I don't know, but like the point is, we have a groom down there, and we also have another supplies. So it's a total guess here, but groom. Nope. I think... Alright, Crucible Estate is clear. I think this is King's Cash, the counterfeit. We can get the coppers out of here. And then triple play the spoils. King's Cashing supplies would also be good because we get more horses. But... And that's actually a potential source of draw that I didn't really address. Let's get another King's Cash. If we King's Cash, like, counterfeit and supplies without having to actually trash the supplies, I think that'll be good. I wonder if it's worth grabbing these last two supplies. Like, in conjunction with King's Cash, they are pretty good. Yeah, why not? And then... We could get another counterfeit just to have more buys. I'm not sure how much we're going to care about having more buys. Oh, did we want to... No, there's still 4 curses left. We don't want to trash the Crucible yet, probably. Could just take another Caravan. We definitely don't need more money right now. Having a gold to be able to King's Cash might be a thing that we want to do. I mean, just King's Cashing a bunch of supplies and a counterfeit. Well, I mean, with just 2 King's Cashes, it's 2 supplies and a counterfeit. But I mean, that's pretty good anyway. But we might want to take another King's Cash next turn. But I think this turn, just grabbing the supplies is fine. Yeah, let's just get another Caravan, I guess. Oh wow, we've given... Oh, the bot... Right, I keep forgetting the bot never got a Crucible, so all these curses are sticking in its deck. That seems like a big deal. Rip supplies. Okay, the bot doubles. I guess the most common card down there is probably supplies. We got 3 more of those. Should we groom for any estates to draw on here? The bot did manage to get a lot of horses onto its deck, so it might still have another good turn. It's a little concerning. I think I will estate here, do other supplies. Well, that's definitely something. If we want to match on the provincing, or at least try to keep pace. Now we can do it while still getting a bunch of horses of our own. Like to find a counterfeit. I would have liked to get more caravans in play, but I guess we'll stop here, take another caravan. It could be root cellar. We still don't have like that much money in our deck though. I don't know, maybe this is playing too scared, but I guess I might as well hang on to the spoils. Yeah, the bot's like drawing deck here. With one King's Cash, that's pretty... Oh, I guess it's got the counterfeit too. Oh, but it didn't see the King's Cash this time. Okay. Yeah, the bot's deck is definitely getting worse. Is it getting worse enough? Guess we'll see. This last card should be another caravan. Yep. Okay. So obviously we could gain more caravans here, but I don't think there's a win. If there was, it would be like empty caravans, empty curses, and then get enough points. We'd be at 4 points, so we'd need 10 points, which basically means double province. We have just technically enough... No, we don't. We don't have enough gains for that. Never mind. Because the curses also cost gains. So yeah, that's not worth worrying about. So then... Bot has trashed 2 supplies, so it's down to 3 supplies. It has the 2 counterfeits and the King's Cash, and that's like it. That's like all that its deck does. Like, how did it even get to province last turn? Oh, it did King's Cash of supplies. Okay, I think I missed that somehow. Counterfeit of supplies, King's Cash to supplies. And it has 2 more, then played 2 more supplies. So it didn't bottom deck the King's Cash. I don't know why I thought that. Whatever it bottom decked it, yeah. Wasn't any of that. It wasn't any of its money. But now, so last turn, it got 3 coins from King's Cash, 2 coins from counterfeit. Wait, so then how did it hit 8? Oh, the counterfeit itself. Right, 3 coins from counterfeit, 3 coins from King's Cash. And so it's not... The only way that it can province this turn is if it King's Cashes the counterfeit and then counterfeits 2 supplies? Is that... Counterfeits 3 supplies. Counterfeit would make 3 money, and then it would need to... It would need... 1 counterfeited supplies would make 3 more money. Yeah, so it's totally safe for me to double province here, because the bot cannot possibly double province. So that's good to know. Um, what I was thinking about was, do I want to do something like groom for silvers? Um, and try to draw up some silvers and like counterfeit or crucible them. I can only draw one silver unless I gain an estate as well. But we could potentially I guess if it was planning to crucible it anyway, the correct thing actually to gain would be a potion. But so let's see. We're gonna king cash 3 things. One of them should probably be the counterfeit. Well, it should definitely be the counterfeit. And then that can triple play both of the spoils. Double play. Not triple. Double play both of the spoils. The other thing could be the Crucible. We could go ahead and trash the Crucible and trash like Curse Estate and then like something that we draw. So another option here would be to like gain a Caravan. And then we either draw the horse or we draw the Caravan. If we draw the Caravan, we play the Caravan, then we draw the horse. Either way, we could Crucible the horse. So that would give us a total of 5 coins between the curse but between the estate and the horse. And then the 2 spoils would be 12 total. So that'd be 17. Then we'd be triple playing some supplies. 2 supplies, which would get us to 23, and then 3 more supply. Well, if we can triple province, and I guess we can. That we get 3 provinces. We're at 24, and the bot just has no way to beat that with as little money as it has in its deck. Okay. Yeah, I probably was too scared off by the double province turn. I think I probably didn't register that the bot had played spoils in order to make that happen. And granted, I'm going to play spoils to make my turn happen too, but still. I think I like this line. Possibly we don't actually need to crucible the horse anyway. We could just play the horse to play the caravan, and that gives us slightly more reliability for next turn. Or we could leave them both. Probably the other groom gain as a root seller. Oh wait, why was I thinking I would get to triple play the Crucible? I don't. I double play the Crucible with the counterfeit. So it just transfers Curse Estate anyway. Okay, well, it's too bad that we don't get to keep the horse, but I think it's got to just make more sense to go ahead and do that. And then, yeah, for next turn, I mean, I don't think... So it is worth noting, we're not going to have spoils anymore, but we would only need to get to like a single province, and we also have groom for silver as a thing. So yeah, I think root seller, and then we counterfeit the crucible to trash curse state, that and that. And 1, 2, 3. No reason to take an estate. For a second, that scared me. But then I was like, oh, no, the bot's just surrendering. Right. Okay. It actually got to province estate, which means it saw all of its money again, even though it didn't remotely draw its deck this time. Is that correct? It top decked. Nah, it won't tell me. I assume it didn't draw its deck. I mean, let's see. How many curses did it have? Draws 5 horses, and then it drew 1, 2 curses out of 5. So it definitely didn't draw its deck. But it's King's cashed the counterfeit. This applies. This applies. This applies. And that's all 5 of its supplies in the trash. Yeah. So, like, imagine if it hadn't ended the game, like, what would it even have done? Like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so, yeah, this feels like a case where the bot, in a way, got, like, baited by its... And I kind of did a little bit, too, because I was like, oh, the bot double provinced. I don't want to fall too far behind. But realistically, there was, like, the bot was never getting really past this point. Like, its deck just had absolutely nothing left at this juncture. And yeah, 4 provinces, okay, but, like, you know, I can beat that. Whereas, my deck was not reliant on trashing itself in order to score. Not to mention, I had also actually had curse trashing. But yeah, it feels like the bot got baited by its, like, relatively strong, like, sort of mid-game turns that were driven by a combination of stampede and spoils from supplies into like having a very short, I don't know, lifespan or something on its, like, deck quality. And yeah, I think with the grooms, I would have, even here where it's like, okay, now I don't have nearly as much money. Like, I would have, I mean, at the very least, I would have been able to, like, without having to trash the supplies, just King's cashing the counterfeit, I would have been able to get 9, 10, 11, 12 coins. So 1 short of, like, province duchy, say. But I could have also groomed for a silver, even just once, and then when you can King's cash the counterfeit, you can trash the silvers with the counterfeit and get a bunch of extra money that way. Like, I think I could have probably... I don't know if I would have been able to groom for silvers twice and draw that. Well, no, I definitely wouldn't have, because the second one would be terminal. So yeah, but at the very least, that would be an extra 8 coins. So I could have still hit like 20 this coming turn, assuming that I drew, which I think is pretty likely. It would have been only 17 if I had to play the root cellar, but yeah, and that's without trashing supplies. With trashing supplies, you get a little bit more money as well. So yeah, pretty interesting. I was talking about the, let's get at the beginning. It's like, oh, we have no plus actions. Oh, we don't have much draw, and that wasn't exactly correct. I mean, obviously, Necropolis was like a fairly straightforward oversight, but the King's Cash supplies, I didn't really... It's funny because I did think about it, But at the same time, I also didn't like think. I guess just didn't think about it right when I was talking about the draw. But that is actually like, it's similar to um King's Cash, like a cantrip where you do get draw out of it. No, sorry, not King's Cash, King's Court, a cantrip where it is net draw, but the because the draw in this case is top decked, it has increased reliability relative to King's Courting like a peddler or some other cantrip. It's still not a ton of draw by itself, but uh, and I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess the reason the bot was getting as much draw as it was out of it was because it kept counterfeiting the supplies. So it was instead of the one King's Cash hitting one supplies and being like, okay, well, that's you know across 2 turns or whatever, that's a net of hand size increase of 1, because you get +3 cards from the horses, but you get -2 from the King's Cash and the supplies. Instead, it was like, well, I'm gonna counterfeit all these supplies, which actually means you don't need to draw them the next turn for what that's worth. And then also, obviously, like if you're triple playing counterfeit and you're trashing 3 supplies, not that the bot was ever trashing 3 supplies like every turn because it didn't have that many, but still you get obviously more horses that way. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Groom was a worthwhile pickup. I don't know if maybe it would have made sense to consider like a Groom in a Carnival or Groom in a Salvager. I don't know why you would particularly want Salvager over Crucible. I guess it gives you another buy. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like my line, the double Groom. Adding the caravans to the deck. Obviously, it's again, caravan isn't a ton of draw, but it is some draw. And I think the root cellar thing, like I didn't end up really using it, but I think it definitely could be relevant as well. As I said at the beginning, I think you probably would need to add a gold at some point to make that go, but maybe not. Maybe you could just get by on the Groom for Silvers thing. Like if you use root cellar to draw 2 silvers that you're going to counterfeit every turn, if you would otherwise not counterfeit anything, then that is like +5 coins, right? You counterfeit 2 silvers, that's 8 coins, assuming you wouldn't otherwise be able to draw the silvers, I guess, is the, like, obviously, if you would otherwise be able to draw the silvers, it's not doing anything. But if you wouldn't otherwise, then you counterfeit the silvers, 2 silvers, it's 8 coins, and then root cellar costs 3, so that's 5 net coins. So I mean, which is potentially pretty good. Obviously, like it's a little weird because root cellar can draw 3 cards and the silvers are only 2 cards, but maybe you otherwise would be underdrawn by 1 or something. But yeah, so I think that like I probably could have afforded to delay my greening a little bit more here. As it turns out, maybe get another King's Cash, so that I could like King's Cash all the supplies, and like just go for like a quad turn or something instead of the triple turn that I did do. That probably would have been fine. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.